Hello everyone, welcome again to English with Dev Krishna. आज हम लोग फिर से और एक ब्यूटीफुल सा पोएम करेंगे, सीखेंगे, उसके डेप्थ में जाएंगे, उसको एंजॉय करेंगे. एंड दिस इज़ इन द ICSE syllabus of class 10, When Great Trees Fall, by the very famous poet and writer Maya Angelou. Now Maya Angelou is an African feminist. उनका ऑलवेज थिंकिंग यही था कि अफ्रीकन वुमेन आर ऑप्रेस्ड इन अ डबल वे. कैसे? फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल देर अफ्रीकन्स, तो रेसिज्म तो फील होता ही है बहुत ज़्यादा. रेसिज्म से दे वर वेरी बैडली अफेक्टेड. ऑन टॉप ऑफ दैट दे वर वुमेन, सो दे वर डबली सप्रेस्ड. एंड one of our very famous poem, The Cage Bird Sings. It's a very beautiful poem. अगर आपको मौका मिले तो ज़रूर पढ़िएगा. It shows the evils of racism and how the blacks were deprived from many very basic things of life. Okay. आज का जो poem है When Great Trees Fall, it's a very inspiring poem. It helps us deal with loss. हम लोग कभी भी जब भी देखो लाइफ में कभी ना कभी कुछ ना कुछ सेपरेशन तो होने ही वाला है. वी हैव कम अलोन टू दिस वर्ल्ड, यू विल गो अलोन. एज सिंपल एज दैट. मे बी योर पेरेंट्स आर देयर विथ यू, योर फ्रेंड्स आर देयर, योर ग्रैंड पेरेंट्स, extended family members. One day you will get married, your spouse, your children. But you have to understand one thing, that there will be separations. People come and go, they play their role in our lives. कुछ सिखाते हैं, कुछ add on करते हैं to our growth, and then they leave. But how we deal with that loss is a very individual approach, and not everybody is good with separation. This particular poem helps us deal with it. Okay, पहले मैं बोल दूँ, this poem is not based on any love interest, no romantic connotation. इट एक्चुअली टेल्स अस कि हम लोग के हर किसी के लाइफ में एक गाइड फिगर होता है. दैट मे बी योर मदर, योर फादर, योर ग्रैंड पेरेंट्स, इवन वन ऑफ योर फ्रेंड्स, अ टीचर, अ मेंटर, अ गुरु, अ गाइड, एनीबडी. वो जब तक हम लोग के लाइफ में रहते हैं, वी फील प्रोटेक्टेड, वी फील नरिश्ड एज इफ टेकन केयर ऑफ. बट वॉट हैपन्स when the person does not live with us anymore? Maybe the person leaves forever for some work, goes away somewhere, or the person does not exist, means the person dies. How do we deal with it? Shall we give up on our lives? Shall we go into the dark caves of depression? Ya kuch aur, which the poet advises us at the end of the poem. Okay? So then I will come to the themes and everything, all the very nicks and crannies of these small important points that will come later on. First, let us enjoy the poem. Okay? When Great Trees Fall by Maya Angelou. Now this is an extended metaphor. The great trees is an extended metaphor. का मतलब पहले बोल दूँ, is a metaphor. यहाँ पर क्या metaphor है? Great trees. Now it's extended, means throughout the poem this particular metaphor has been used. That is the great trees. उसके ऊपर बेस करके great trees symbolize that person, that important person in our life, जो हम लोग को बहुत कुछ दे के गए. ठीक है? When great trees fall, rocks on distant hills shudder, lions hunker down in tall grasses. Lions भी डर के मारे बैठ जाते हैं when great trees fall. And even elephants lumber after safety. Even elephants, they feel confused, they move slowly and they want safety. So when great trees, huge mammoth trees, deep rooted trees in a फॉरेस्ट जब टूट जाता है, तो अच्छे से अच्छे ब्रेव डेंजरस एनिमल्स लाइक लायंस एंड एलिफेंट्स, दे आल्सो हंकर डाउन. उन लोग को भी दे आल्सो शिवर, दे आल्सो फील स्कैर्ड. सिमिलरली अ पर्सन, नाउ आई विल रिलेट विथ द इनर मीनिंग. अ पर्सन who holds a lot of importance in our lives, in your life, in my life, whoever it is. Again, it is not a romantic interest, simply a guide figure. That can be anybody in your family or friends or anybody, your teacher, neighbor, somebody with whom you can very well resonate, somebody जिसके साथ तुमको लगता है कि this person understands me so well and guides me on the right path. तो ये जब इंसान किसी के लाइफ से, let's imagine one of our teachers or a grandparent, that person is not in our life anymore. हम लोग को कैसे लगता है? घुटन, a sort of a suffocation. Now what will happen to me? Who is going to guide me? You feel lonely. And if you are that kind of a person जिसको लगता है मुझे कोई नहीं समझता, so that one person meant the whole world for you. And when the person is not there, it is very difficult accepting that void in your life, that emptiness. When great trees fall in forests, small things recoil into silence. बड़े से बड़े जानवर को अगर डर लगता है तो सोचो छोटे छोटे एनिमल्स, स्मॉल क्रीचर्स, what would be the impact on them? Small things recoil into silence, their senses eroded beyond fear. उन लोग के senses काम नहीं करते, इधर उधर छुप जाते, किसी बिल में घुस जाते हैं. Why? Because even they feel directionless. Even they feel that a guardian figure, हम लोग के ऊपर जो एक छत था, there was somebody's hand on our head, वो चला गया. Okay? When great souls die, the air around us. Now, why is she saying us? Because she is stepping into that position of a bereaved person. It's a very good word you can use, bereaved. bereaved. bereaved का मतलब जो दुखी है, जो अभी suffering से जा रहा है. That bereaved person, when great souls die, the air around us becomes light, rare, sterile. ऐसे लगता है अगर if I lock you up in a room which is shut everywhere, doors, windows, everything is shut, after some time you will feel claustrophobic, suffocating लगेगा, because you won't be able to breathe. वो oxygen level कम होता जाएगा. Similarly, when suddenly you come to know that the person does not exist anymore, वो गया, the person is never going to come back. Imagine, थोड़ा depth में जाके सोचो how suffocating you will feel. अभी if that person exists now in your life, you will feel like crying if you think a bit deeper कि वो जब नहीं रहेंगे मेरा क्या होगा, what will I do, I am completely directionless, we are literally like a child to that person, right? So he says a bereaved का हालत ऐसा हो जाता है. And she says us because she thinks herself also into that sector of people जिसके life से एक हाथ उठ गया. We breathe briefly, our eyes briefly, see with a hurtful clarity. Suffocation होता है, छोटे छोटे सांस, short breaths, because you're suffocating, your senses are not working, you are trying to come to terms, ये कैसे हो गया, how can the person leave me, right? And you can't breathe properly. Panic, anxiety, and our eyes briefly, you aren't able to see, कोई क्लैरिटी नहीं है, अब मेरे लाइफ का क्या होगा, अब मुझे क्या करना चाहिए, नाउ वेयर इज़ माई लाइफ हेडिंग टू, सब कुछ धुंधला, हेजी, very 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 like it's like behind a cloud of smoke. Okay, our memory suddenly sharpened examines, gnaws on kind words unsaid, promised walks never taken. Now you remember that person, he used to say or she used to say that beta or beti or whatever, my child, whatever it is, I am always with you, my friend, I am always with you, तुमको कोई चिंता करने का दरकार नहीं है, you need not worry, this friend or this guide is always with you, don't think you are alone. There are people in our lives, right, who extend that motherly love, that nurture, that nourishment. Not everybody is blessed with good families, not everybody is blessed with good friends. There are people who come into life for a short period of time and then they completely change your life for the better. Now, whether you want to make it better, you want to go back to your pathetic past, that depends on you. But then suddenly we are so selfish, हम लोग इतने selfish हो जाते हैं कि how can the person just leave, how can the person just go, how can the person just die, just vanish from my life, because that person had promised me we will do this and this and this and that. Maybe that person made many plans with you, and that gnaws, Gnaws, it's not gnaws, G is silent, gnaws means keeps on biting in your memory, that person told me हम लोग ये करेंगे वो करेंगे, there were so many plans about my future, whatever it is, and it gave you a lot of solace, and you were literally holding on to that person, and now you don't know what to do, so you start blaming that person. How can you go? Great souls die, and our reality bound to them takes leave of us. Our souls dependent upon their nurture. Now our soul is completely dependent on them, on their encouragement, on their nourishment, on their care. Now shrink. तुम्हारा soul आस्ता से shrink होने लगता है. Wizened means shrivels up, पूरा dry up हो जाता है. Our minds formed and informed by their radiance falls away. Now whatever they had informed us, like the kind of information that they put here and formed, that actually formed our complete mindset. वो हम लोग को change करके गया for the better. We are talking about positive people. We are talking about great souls, great personalities, were remarkable not only in our lives, maybe in society. Maybe कोई important आदमी था that completely changed your society. It completely changed the mindset of the people in your society, and now the person is no more. He was like a father figure, or she was like a mother figure. तो सबको लग रहा है अभी हम लोग का क्या होगा? So at that time, what happens? Your mind that they formed and they informed. Inform means that putting in the information, and form means that a new you was formed, and now you don't know in the absence of that person कि अभी क्या करना है. We are not so much maddened as reduced to the unutterable ignorance of dark cold caves. And what is this dark cave referred to? Depression. When you don't want to talk to anybody, नहीं मुझे छोड़ दो, and you go and lock up yourself in a room and you go into depression. And it's very easy to give up. It's very easy to say I'm depressed and I give up on life. No, there's more to life. People come and go. I understand. We understand that these important people, definitely they leave an impact. It's a permanent footprint in your life, in your soul. But you also have to understand that everybody has a role to play in your life, whether good or bad. So now that the person, you cannot expect anybody to be with you throughout your life. Your parents will also go one day. And then you cannot just, give up on your work because you will have bills to pay. You have to go to work. You have to look after your family. More so, you have to look after yourself. But with these people, the best part is they leave you with such a mindset, with such a positive frame of mind, that they expect, their souls also expect you कि तुम भी continue करो with the kind of teaching or the mindset that they infused in you. They also expect, their soul lives on, their souls are watching you. Right, now coming to the last stanza of the poem, where the writer gives us that sure short way how we can deal with the depression, how we can come to that acceptance mode. Like first of all, the theme is loss of a loved one. Now throughout this poem, you see 1/3 of the poem they're just dealing with the loss. Coming to the grief and acceptance, this is the best part, where the ending of the poem, it finishes on a positive note. She says, and when great souls die, after a period peace blooms. एक टाइम के बाद टाइम heals. Time is the best healer. You must have heard of that saying. एक टाइम के बाद तुम उतना भी नहीं रहोगे, तुम उतना भी पागल नहीं रहोगे. एक टाइम के बाद peace eventually will come. Now it depends from person to person. किसी को 1 साल लगता है, किसी को 2 साल, किसी को 6 महीने. It depends from person to person. But acceptance आता है slowly and always, irregularly. Why irregularly? Beautiful word. Why irregularly? Because sometimes you'll feel, now okay, fine, I'm feeling bit better, and suddenly one fine day you'll remember the person again and you'll start cursing them again. Oh God, why did the person leave? Maybe you'll start blaming them. Why did you leave? Why did you even come to my life and create such a big impact in my life, and now then you just walk away? But you have to understand, that was not in his or her hand. It was time for him to say bye-bye to you. And nobody, in fact, nobody is going to stay with you till your last breath. Right? So, this up and down thing will go. Because sometimes you will come to that conclusion, okay, fine, the person's gone. And sometimes, irregularly, we'll get back into that dark cave of depression. Spaces filled with a kind of soothing electric vibration. Our senses restored, never to be the same, whisper to us. Now slowly your senses are talking to you. Look, calm down. Look at the brighter side of life. Look at what they had said. Try to inspire yourself with the teachings that those people had given you. Try to use that direction. Wo chala gaya, so what? So what? That person should keep living within yourself, within your soul. Isileye last 3 lines. They existed. We can be and be better, for they existed. If you want to respect the person's initiative to form and inform your mind, to shape you into the personality that you are today, if you are truly grateful to that person for whatever the person has done for you, had done for you, or whatever the person, the morals, or the teachings or the methods to combat with life, जो भी उसने बोला है, अगर उसको respect करना चाहते हो, then stop blaming the person and start walking on that direction, continue walking in that direction when the person was present, like the way you were. जब वो person present है तुम्हारे life में, the changes that you were bringing in your life, जैसे तुम the person that you had become, get back to that. That will be the biggest reverence, the biggest respect that you can pay to the person. Right? It's very easy to blame people, but the bigger part, you have to see the brighter side, that the person left, he had to go or she had to go, but what did he leave or what did she leave with you? Their teaching. So they are basically continuing to live through us, through you. Okay? Now, this is basically a tribute to James Baldwin. James Baldwin was a poet, he was a playwright, he was a great, he had a deep impact on the African culture, and he did impact Maya Angelou a lot. So when Maya Angelou, and he was a friend also, when this person died, Maya Angelou felt this pain, this loss, this hollowness, and then she decided to write this poem for all the bereaved souls, for all the souls that are hurt due to the loss of a very, very important person, a very close person. Okay. Now coming to the main, the beauty of this thing is that it's filled with figure of speech. I'll explain one by one. First of all, extended metaphor. I've told you when a particular metaphor is used throughout the poem. Here, the example is a great trees that symbolize whom? The great personalities that leave a mark on our lives and at large the society even. Okay. Epistrophe. Now, if you see the epistrophe, I'll tell you, it's just the reverse of anaphora. I'll come to anaphora first. Anaphora is a line that starts with the same 2 to 3 words. Like I'll tell you, when great souls die, again another stanza starts with and when great souls die. So this repetition at the beginning of the stanzas, this is called anaphora. Just bang opposite is epistrophe, when a line ends with the same words. Like I'll tell you the epistrophe example. It's in the 3rd stanza. We breathe briefly, our eyes briefly, briefly, briefly. So these 2 lines are an example of epistrophe. Now coming to polypteton. Polypteton is, I'll give you an example. Come to, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th stanza. Here it says, our minds formed and informed by their radiance falls away. Now polypteton is a figure of speech जिसमें क्या होता है, एक root word होता है, root word के ऊपर impact होता है. root word यहाँ पर क्या है, our minds. माइंड्स के ऊपर क्या हुआ है, फॉर्म्ड भी हुआ है, इनफॉर्म्ड भी हुआ है. फर्स्ट द माइंड वॉज फेड विद अ सर्टन इन्फॉर्मेशन, इनफॉर्म, दैट इज द नॉलेज दैट दीज पीपल गिव अस, एंड देन इट वॉज इवेंचुअली फॉर्म्ड इनटू समथिंग न्यू. दैट्स एन एग्जाम्पल ऑफ पॉलिप्टेटन. एक रूट वर्ड रहेगा. ओके. नेक्स्ट कमिंग टू एलिटरेशन. एलिटरेशन बहुत सारे हैं. I'll tell you, when great trees fall in forest. Then we have alliteration. Small things recoil into silence, SSS. Small things recoil into silence, their senses, SSS. And we also have one short alliteration in the last stanza. A period piece blooms, PP, right? Next we come to ascent dot. Now these figures of speech don't apply much to the ICSE syllabus, but at times you should know for your knowledge, because if they do give it an MCQ, you never know. So it's very well to be prepared. Prepared hona better hai. Asymptoton is a figure of speech जिसमें क्या होता है, beautifully lines को ऐसे लिखा जाता है where there is no need of conjunctions. I'll tell you the example. When great souls die, the air around us becomes light, rare, sterile. कहीं भी and but नहीं use करता. When great souls die, comma, the air around us becomes light, rare, sterile. There's no and the air becomes, no, there's no conjunction. Okay. Another example is in the third stanza. Third stanza at the end. Examines, gnaws on kind words, unsaid, promise works never taken. With the help of comma, 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 so much meaning is being given. Like examines, our memory suddenly sharpened. Examines, comma, gnaws on kind words, unsaid, promised walks never taken, and those promised word or but those promised words never taken, no. Comma, with the help of beautifully arranged words and the placement of the intelligent placement of comma, this is a perfect example of a send it on. Okay, so I will again attach this at the end, and I will also attach few question answers, very important question answers of this poem. If you feel it's going to benefit you, please feel free to take a screenshot or write down in your copy. And if you have any doubts regarding any particular line or any particular stanza, please feel free to write in the comment. I will do a recap just before your exams, before your board exams. And do share this poem if your friends, if you find it helpful, and if you feel that your friends are also going to benefit from it, do share with them. And I will again see you in the next video. Till then, keep reading.